This is your Leo new moon solar eclipse forecast for August 12th, 2026. And so on the 12th of August, we have a Leo new moon and a solar eclipse. So that kind of brings a little bit more illumination and emotion to this beautiful Leo moon at 22 degrees of Leo. And what is Leo? Leo is the fifth house. It's about our creativity. So we're feeling rather expressive. We want to show our originality, whether that's in creativity, in our personality, you name it. We are feeling with pizzazz right now, and that's a good positive vibe. And Leo is about children's interests, and Leos are known for their generosity or charity giving nature, warm hearted affection. Amorous, if you will. And because we have a new moon and a solar eclipse here, our confidence is at its best, yes. And Leo is a fire sign. So this imbues us some positive energy. Yes, indeed. And equally, we have both Mercury, the communicator, and Jupiter, the planet of luck and prosperity, also in the sign of Leo. However, not conjoining technically the sun and moon, the new moon in Leo, it is still prevalent in this beautiful Leo stellium, also including the South Node or K2 in Leo as well. So, what is Jupiter? What is Mercury? Jupiter is about what? Luck and prosperity, yes. But Jupiter is about the law. It is about education. It's Sagittarius, and that's connected with the ninth house. Also, Mercury, and Mercury is about communicating ideas and whatever we want to put out there to say into the world. And so, right now, these interests are going to come to the fore. Dating and relationships, that's also connected with the fifth house, our feelings, our sentiments, our expression. And in this case, we have Sagittarius ruler Jupiter and Gemini and Virgo ruler of Mercury coming to the fifth house. So there's also going to be talks of justice, of education, as aforementioned, children's interests, anything to do with pregnancy, dating, relationship, and just wanting to be ourself, to express who we are deep inside, and acceptance, issues of acceptance, and all of that, and including affection. So this is very good with Leo. And because there is an opposition here with Jupiter, the justice and prosperity planet, with the communicator of Mercury, it opposes Pluto, the powerhouse, the powers that be, at 3 degrees, almost 4 degrees, retrograde Pluto. And retrograde planets are not always at their best. However, we are required to have a little bit more patience. And what is retrograde? Retrograde is always about, well, retro, about the past. So there may be some issues with powers that be, power plays, and with those in authority yet because of the condition of Pluto retrograde. And this is opposing the prosperity of of justice and the planet, connected with Sagittarius in the ninth house. So this is connected with also foreign anything. It's about our speech. It's about our higher mind, even though Jupiter is not in the ninth house. It is connected with, yes, Mercury, the communicator, which is connected with Virgo and Gemini and the third and sixth house, coming here to the fifth house. So there's going to be communication issues connected with justice, with law, with education. And these are also issues that may be prominent that we need to solve or resolve right now. All these issues connected with the fifth house, with the new moon in Leo, and Mercury and Jupiter. Now, generally, oppositions are thought of as a double-edged sword because on one hand, well, it's about literal conflict that needs to be resolved. And it is also about, because it is the opposition, it's about helping each other or finding that our opposition, within the opposition, that we receive some kind of assistance that helps to end, if you will, a conflict or negotiation. So, with this opposition with Mercury and Jupiter here, there's going to be lots of discussions about, well, ending and resolution. So, this is a big deal. And these talks may be very emotionally or very fiery charged right now because, on one hand, we're really feeling kind of positive and we're feeling a little bit feisty about the aforementioned issues, but at the same time, there's something right now that we are seeking justice and fairness about. And to add to that, but in a positive light, a positive direction, is this beautiful air grand trine. And that includes Venus in its own sign at its best in the sign of Libra, which rules what? Justice, fairness, peace, beauty, negotiation. Ah, that word again. But look here, it falls into a wonderful, very easygoing, smooth, and connected grand air trine with Pluto, even retrograde in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini. Oh, that's the genius. And we have Venus at its best in Libra. So this Venus in Libra and this air trine kind of emphasize this Leo connection with really wanting to express our ideas. It's not just about creativity, of course it is, but it's about we want to put our personal stamp on who we are, our personal style. And that can be, of course, with Leo and Libra, with the sextile with Mercury and Jupiter, also tied in with Venus and Libra. It can be, yes, about fashion, it can be about beauty. This is also going to be of really a focus right now. So we are really connected, possibly with those in the entertainment business. There may be some really fascinating individuals that come out now that really have a lot of artistic talent, and they are the talk of the town. Certain celebrities, you name it. But this is all in a positive direction because of this grand trine in air connected with Venus and Libra and this Leo, beautiful Leo new moon. So you really want to say what you think, you really want to show off a little bit, which is also Leo. This is the time to do it. And because we have this marvelous grand trine in air, if you have any conflicts that you want to put behind you now, this is the time to resolve it because air is one of the best grand trines because it allows us to communicate without getting too overly sensitive, without getting overly combative, and we have a little bit, just a touch of a logical air. We can be detached yet logical and see someone else's point of view. So this is really great. And what else is air? Air is, in fact, very logical and very detached. Yes, but it's highly intellectual. And when you're talking Uranus right now, the planet of unique energy, genius, and it's in the sign of Gemini, which rules all forms of communication, whether it's internet, whether it's technology, inventions, you name it, with the genius planet. And its depositor is Uranus with the sweet, beautiful planet of peace. Also, the law here, justice, Libra Venus. Well, this is the time there's going to be some technological advances and kind of coming back to this connection with Jupiter and Mercury, with Libra. Yes, the powers that be, Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini. This is the time we are really relating to each other. And it's about what? What are the air signs? And in particular, Pluto, even retrograde, with its depositor also falling into this grand air trine, but it's about our humanity. So it's not just about, hey, let's talk things through, let's rationalize things and really open up and have genuine affection for each other. We are imbued with a lot of positivity and self confidence, but it's about really kind of getting together in kind of like a community forum uh, or within the public interest and really having a time of some important, I would say, very forward looking, humane, if you will, discussions. There's that word again. So, this is a really kind of a Leo moon solar eclipse feel good vibe. Yes, it is. And because we have a solar eclipse, of course, with the new moon, this only heightens these aspects of the chart right now. So, like I said, if you have any negative combativeness going on now or from the past, you need to close the book on something. This is the time to really open up and reveal what? Your feelings. But Leo, to some degree, kind of like air, because it is not emotionally charged, overly sensitive or touchy, like sometimes water can be. It's fiery. So we really want to put our enthusiasm about what we have to say. So sometimes right now we see some sparks that are going to fly, and a lot of or unimportant leader is going to come forward that we're really finding leaders or a leader because we've got Leo, and Leo is the teacher, it's the professor right now that are really going to give us some positive future uh, enthusiasm or inspiration, because that's another thing about Leo. It's very inspiring. Not only is it very creative, but Leo seeks to inspire with their generosity and originality. And when you have that with Pluto, even retrograde in Aquarius, well, we are feeling just so uniquely inspired and daring, because Aquarius is unique. It is unexpected. And that is what kind of gives the air right now during this time of the Leo new moon and solar eclipse, a little snap, crackle, and pop, if you will, right now for Leo. So, all aspects of entertainment, charity, children's interests, dating, confidence, and those connected with leaders, our leadership is going to be for the forefront. And of course, as mentioned, about education, interests, and the law, justice. So, some good news connected with all of those interests right now. Now, we do have, yes, Neptune, a little bit of a deceiver here, also retrograde, and it's about within 10 degrees from Saturn, also retrograde at 14 degrees of Aries. And this kind of emphasizes, kind of like with Leo, this leadership energy. So somebody could come on the scene right now. Yes, that is very inspirational, or somebody that we feel is saying, okay, we need to close the book on certain aspects that have been bothersome to us lately. And that's personally, it's not just publicly. We may have somebody kind of like as a mentor in a positive direction that comes along now that really gives us a lot of encouragement. And because of this, yes, that well, Leo new moon and Leo emphasis and Aries, we may also be very inspirational and show leadership ability to others as well. So not only is this a very logical, very kind of a detached, very energetic new moon solar eclipse, but it is one where we are being inspired or we are seeking to inspire others. Now, uh, yes, is there a little bit, just a tad bit of a drawback here? Yes, but I would say that it's not anything serious. We've got nebulous Neptune retrograde, also Saturn retrograde. So that's going to try our patience right now, wherever that is in your personal birth chart. But we've got Neptune here, and it can be a little bit confusing in opposition with the planet of peace and beauty and law, justice, also the public to a certain degree, Venus in Libra at 5 degrees. So, what this means is right now with regards to relationships, and again, keep in mind that that does not only mean love relationships, although that's to the forefront right now of discussion and expression, but it means because Neptune has a tendency to muddy the waters, it means right now that we want clarity. We may have some confusions about the state of our relationships. And again, that can be, yes, of course, love relationships, can be family, yes, even business, because keep in mind, Venus is also connected with the seventh house, and that's the public. It also rules business. So we really want to try to keep the peace now and leverage everything. And Neptune is saying, okay, I feel there's some confusion going on. I just want clarity. And so, yes, this opposition with Neptune and Venus in Libra may be a little bit tense, but it is an opposition. So, yes, there is a little tension there, maybe a slight friction with relationships, but because of all these positive connectivities here now, I'm apt to believe that this opposition is about kind of what this chart is about and the tone of this chart. It's all about talking things through, getting that clarity about how someone or people, because we do have that very publicly oriented Pluto in Aquarius and that chatty Uranus in Gemini. So we want to kind of get together and we want to say, hey, what's going on? So, what's really cool about this is that it's not just about one on one connections, it's also about group connections. Another issue, well, or something positive that will be highlighted right now about groups, about yes, one on ones. How do you feel? I want clarity. There's a little bit of tension there. So I want to know where we are headed, what the future has in store for us, our business, whatever, whoever that may be, that you want to know where your goals and your future is headed. But this is all too positive, yes. And now we have Mars, yes, barely there in the planet of action with zero critical uh, Cancer. Now, Cancer Mars in this chart pretty much is the only water, and it is at zero critical. Nonetheless, Mars can be, well, a little bit snappish or touchy in the sign of Cancer. And however, it is very early on and there is a bit of an inconjunct or quincunx with Pluto. So, kind of sort of like this connection with the opposition with Libra, Venus, and Neptune retrograde in Aries, with this quincunx to powerhouse Pluto. There's going to be a little tension there with those that are in power, with authority. And we have to, even with this beautiful, blessed grand trine, we will have to resolve. There is that word again. We will have to end or find ways to work around those that are in power or those in positions of authority, whatever you deem as authority. This can be publicly and this can be personally. We don't want to kind of get too overly sensitive and touchy, snappish with Mars, this action planet in quincunx with Pluto powerhouse. And it also says we don't want to overstep our bounds with power because that could instigate problems of becoming snappish and kind of needy. But the one good thing here about Mars and Cancer, the action planet, Cancer has a wonderful way, kind of like with this Leo emphasis, of really opening up and caring and protecting. We just don't want to get too protective or too possessive because do keep in mind there's a very wide square off between Venus and Libra, peace oriented, beauty and oriented uh, Libra, Venus with a wide square to Mars, almost at 1 degrees at 0 and 55 of Cancer. So this just says in all this harmony right now, and that is with this grand air trine and Venus in Libra, the new moon in Leo, with all this, yes, harmonious, magnificent connections with this Leo new moon. Well, Mars can be in love relationships, maybe in other relationships, a tad possessive. So we want to kind of tone that down. If we feel overall our relationships are good, but there's a little bit of a drawback of oversensitivity, maybe some peevishness, that's when we want to develop an awareness and say, okay, maybe we're getting a little bit too touchy feely, kind of uh, overly needy. And that's where you want to take a hint from this grand air trine involving, by the way, Venus and Libra. So we want to kind of pull back. We want to become more detached, not so self oriented, because this can be a uh, a trait of Mars in Cancer. Its sensitivity is admirable, loving, kind, protective, family oriented, if you will, which is very positive. But right now, we can't step on people's toes with power hungry trips, if you will, and we can't develop oversensitivity and possessiveness with regards to all relationships. And I do emphasize that because, yes, as mentioned, it can be about love and romance, but it can be about, wanting to get our way in work, wanting to get our way or what we want in family or any other kind of relationships or what have you. And notice here with Chiron, the healer, it's also at 050 of Taurus, almost an exact sextile here, water and earth. So this is the time for healing, and these interests will also be discussed about relationships and harmony and talks and how that can help to what? To heal our burdens, heal whatever we have in the past that needs to be brought to the surface. So all forms of relationships, can't say that word, this Leo new moon solar eclipse are going to be brought to the forefront. right now. So, to surmise, we've got a beautiful grand trine in air. It's about our inventiveness. It's about really with the opposition with Mercury and Jupiter. It's really about uh, kind of kind of about our expression. It's about really standing up for what we believe in: justice, the law, the powers that be, and or our power, and really trying to resolve issues. It's about our creativity and our self-expression at the very least. It's about issues connected with children. It's about really putting our personal stamp about who we are and really speaking that loud and being very about this is who I am and this is my personality. It's my decisions because Jupiter with Mercury really likes to broadcast. It's a resolution with regards to some legal issue, maybe education, and the law with the emphasis with Jupiter, Mercury, and of course Venus in its own sign of peace and talks in Libra. We may feel a little bit of some stress in relationships. Ah, there's that word again. Yes, our connections. But we want clarity, and that's positive. But with the Aries and the Leo uh, fire emphasis vibe, well, we're feeling positive. We're really feeling energetic, and that is going to be very addictive right now. Uh, this sense of feistiness, but in a positive light. And because of the Chiron and Mars connection, we want to heal. But because of the square with Mars and Venus, we equally have to watch for peevishness, over sensitivity and touchiness. We want to take a hint from the air grand trine. We want to detach. We want to be logical, intellectual, a lot of those discussions right now, and wonderful group humane connections, talks about the future. And the future for this Leo new moon solar eclipse is going to be very illuminating and very unique and expressive indeed. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.